what's special about Wonderville is that it's the only indie game focused, independent game focused arcade bar in New York.
Probably about once a month I'm in here tweaking some wire, resoldering something, making sure that everything works the way it's supposed to work. The flippers have burned out several times. If you hit this target 3 times, you'll get hit with fog. And that has been slightly problematic because people who come in and they don't know that, they come up to the bar and they're like, the pinball machine's on fire. Don't worry, it's not on fire. There's a fog machine.
Our favorite game is Typing Party. I would say it's kind of like a secretary's favorite game in a way, because you just have to type really quickly, so you have to know your way around a keyboard.
I started coming here when I got really into Black Emperor, and I went all in. I got the record, I got the t-shirt, I got the pin, and so after work I just come in and start getting a little bit better at it.
Black Emperor is a game where you're on a motorcycle and you're trying to go for as long as you can, land a Lone Rider style. And it takes finesse, it takes quick reaction, and the aesthetics are beautiful.
So they have games, they have cabinets from indie developers here, such as Kung Fu Kickball, which is a game a friend of ours made.
It's a truly unique kind of side-scrolling competitive game that really elicits a lot of kind of wow reactions when people are playing it.
My favorite game at Wonderville has to be Line Wobbler. That's the LED game that's sort of above the doorway that has the unique sort of spring-loaded interface. That one's a really unique experience.
There are a couple of machines there where the inventors actually come here sometimes.
When I see someone playing one of my games, it brings me a lot of joy and sort of just curiosity in watching how they figure out how it works.
My name is Mark Kleback.
I'm Stephanie Gross, and we're the co-owners of Wonderville.
Sunday morning when you have to go through 2 layers cleaning. This is an old Killer Queen machine, one of the first ones in New York, and it's a little beat up, so we made these acrylic discs to put under all the buttons so that the buttons don't punch through the cabinet. They're really vigorous players. I think we're also lucky in that the community is also the most enthusiastic, and they donate to make sure that we have buttons and joysticks and things that aren't broken. I played a lot of video games as a kid, but then I guess in my 20s I got more into music, and I found that I liked building arcade cabinets. It involved woodworking and electronics and software, and it was sort of this really cool intersection of all these things. And in 2013, we built our first arcade cabinet, and as of today, we have about 25 that we've built. We found that there's not really a space for indie games the way that there was for indie music. A lot of the games that we showcase are built by one person, maybe 2. They're built on this labor of love. They maybe don't have a budget at all. Some of that stuff is really very exciting. It's really creative and different. And sometimes games that we showcase here get picked up by Nintendo or Microsoft.
Kung Fu Kickball.
Yeah, Kung Fu Kickball just got a deal with Microsoft and Sony and Nintendo, so it'll be on all the platforms in a couple months.
Yeah. The bar is Wonderville, and then the event space actually is a nonprofit in which there's a donation box so people can support the building and keeping the games running, which we always have free.
Wonderville is different from the other arcade bars because I think you can really tell that the people who own and operate this space care about this type of art. They care about building a community. They care about making the space accessible to all different kinds of people.
As someone who kind of grew up on the outskirts not being allowed to have games and kind of thought, oh, games are cool, it made it really hard to kind of get into the scene, whereas here people are not like that.
It goes back to the community, just others being there with you, sort of cheering you on and you cheering them on. So everyone just builds each other up.
I think what they really care about is people getting to experience these games
and to have fun together, connect with each other, have a good time.
One of the events we held was Ape Out Live. Ape Out is a game that was made by Gabe Casillo and Bennett Foddy at the NYU Game Center. It became really popular and it was released on the Switch. Ape Out's soundtrack is generative, which means as you play the game, the music is generated algorithmically by the player. And we had this idea where we would project Ape Out and have a live band score the game. So we reached out to a drummer and a saxophone player who were both jazz musicians, and people from the audience could come up and play the game, and they would play along live with the game.
I was homesick, but I still got to watch thanks to putting it on our live stream, Twitch.
Twitch.tv.
Twitch.tv/DBA
Arcade. Yeah, we live stream a lot of our events, and we broadcasted it so people that were out of town or that couldn't see it were able to watch online. So that's another thing that we're building toward, is a bigger streaming community and being able to do that more often. We do Twitch streams here. If that's something you're interested in, Matt is the person to talk to. So I just want to take a second to say welcome everyone to our first arcade co-op.
For Arcade Co-op, we set up some tables in the event space and get people hooked up with their laptops, or if they're working on projects with materials, they have space to work on them. Just a really nice opportunity for people to collaborate and work together, give each other advice.
Having people come and work on their games at Wonderville is one of the special features of the space. Kind of, you know, if you just walk in, you can learn about how something works.
I'm the creator of Slam City Oracles. The game is a two-player collaborative smashing game. So basically there's this whole vertical level of little buildings and toys and interactive things, and the whole world is kind of like a trampoline. So you work with your partner to get as much speed up as you can and slam down as hard as you can and cause as much chaos as possible.
Yeah, there we go.
Mark and Steph complement each other super well as business partners, I think, because they're both obviously interested in the same parts of the business, but they both handle different parts of it really well.
We recently got married in Kingston, New York. Yeah, it's been 9 years, and so we just had to make it official. Running a business is more like a marriage because there's a lot of, you know, conflict resolution, obstacles to overcome.
Just gonna let it run?
I can unplug it. You're working together to come to a common goal. Yeah, it's very similar.
I feel like Mark is always coming at events from this really weird perspective. You know, he has like a foot in music and a foot in games and a foot in electrical engineering. And so he's always finding all of these strange people to work together and throw these weird events. And then Steph also, like, on the ground, makes sure things run.
Running a bar is very similar to playing a video game, with lots of mines and mysteries and things breaking that you don't expect. But like video games, it's really exciting, it's really rewarding, it's really fulfilling.
Wonderville has a very strong community, and it actually was born out of a community of artists and musicians and independent game developers who had been collaborating for years.
Where else can you go and play an indie game that a friend of yours made locally in the community? Like, probably nowhere else.
I feel like I'm Tom Hanks in Big. Like, that's how I felt earlier. Like, I'm older and I'm working, but I can still come and play games that seemed like they would have been perfect when I was a kid.
When I play an independent video game, I feel like I'm trying to connect to the artist because I know they're just a person or a group of people that are just like me.
What's really amazing as a creator to be in a space where we can actually see people playing the games and having a good time. Because so often these games are played at home and we don't get to actually see the person get into the game and play it, but when we have the arcade cabinet, people actually come up and get really excited by it, and being able to see that and see all the joy it's producing is really one of the most amazing parts of building arcade machines.
It makes me want to keep making games.
The best part of owning Wonderville is hearing people come up to us and say, like, you've created this space for the community, people are really into it, thank you for having a space where this kind of thing can happen. I don't think there's a lot of other places like this.
Hey again, everyone. So since this segment was recorded, a lot has changed for Wonderville, us, and the world. But we're excited to tell you about what we've been doing for Wonderville since we closed on March 15th.
We have been trying to do a lot of virtual events on Twitch. You can check out twitch.tv/Wonderville NYC. We have lots of game tournaments and a little bit of live music. So the world is strange and we're doing some strange things and we hope you can join us for them. There are also some fundraisers that we're doing. Our staff is mostly made up of bartenders and sound engineers, and so we have a GoFundMe that would really help them get through this because they're out of work right now.
We are also so fortunate we've been selected by Vans for their Foot the Bill campaign. So what Vans is doing for small businesses is they let us customize a Wonderville shoe, and after cost of production and shipping, we will receive the net profits. So we're really excited. We think the shoe came out amazing and we hope you like it and you can still customize it a little more for yourself as well.
Yeah, so follow us on some streaming platforms and hopefully we'll get to see you after this is all over.
We miss you.
Thanks.